We'll see whether or not it's going to be an even game, because Game 1 was certainly one-sided to Team Secret's favor. Game 2 to LGD. So, Blitz, are we going to have an even game? How do you feel about the draft?
Let me see. I think I prefer LGD's draft. Again, I'm not like sure. I think this draft is much closer. Like the panel agreed. Like I thought both drafts were pretty one-sided once we saw them.
Yeah.
Me and Cap usually just like watch from behind and we give each other our thoughts, and we're pretty correct on both. But this one I think is probably the closest draft, or at least the one that should theoretically be the closest.
How do you feel about the Animage last pick against Slash, against Furion, against Morphling? That's a lot of good heroes for an Animage, right?
I don't think the Morph AM one is as one-sided.
Not as much as it used to be. Right now, it's like...
Before it was like, if you picked Anti-Mage against Morph, it was like 80-20 loss.
Yeah.
Now I think it's still very good for AM, which is why they picked it last, because obviously you morph into Morph himself. Or, like, you can morph into Anti-Mage, but it's not, like, that bad.
Yeah.
Because you become a melee hero now.
And Morph may not be as dependent as he once was on mana. Still kind of needs it.
Yeah.
And then, on top of that, it's the classic Animage versus Spectre timing, right? It's like your Animage is going to get 4 items, and your Morph is only going to be at 2.
Shout out, by the way, to both of our observers, JJ and Karo.
You've done a good job making sure that we look competent at our job. I was going to say good, but I figure competence may be a little bit more fair.
Yeah. Casting with a good obs is actually so easy. Oh, as maybe.
So we switched up the lanes. Animage, just like, was that VP versus Liquid? Wait, what game was it that we had a mid AM that just destroyed Ember Spirit?
It was Liquid versus Keen game 2.
Liquid versus Keen, just like Liquid did. Secret are going to do that here, but the matchup's not that easy. I'm presuming against Leshrac, you don't get the free win that you had against Ember Spirit previously.
No, there's a lot more ways for Leshrac to actually fight. Like, Anti-Mage doesn't like to get hit 3 times for free. And that's exactly what's going to happen. And I really like that. Maybe also has decided to go for the Lightning. Because, I mean, is Edict really going to do much against AM? As Nisha almost actually died there. Like, if he copped a stun in 2 hits.
The lightning damage is still really low, and it does mean you won't have Edict when it comes to pushing the towers.
Yeah, but that's okay too, because if you just bully the AM out, like that's the point of this lane, right? You saw Ame originally start heading here.
Yeah.
And then
look at Nisha. He's just trapped right now. Side's got to get a little low. But we're still looking for another Fissure into stun that could finish off Nisha. That's why Yapster is going to come in. Rescue his carry player.
He needs a salve really badly.
The courier will be able to deliver.
It never feels good to be able to just be forced into buying regen nonstop as your net worth. So that's exactly what they're going to try to get him to do. Is he's actually going to pop the Tango.
So our top lane is the Furion matched up against Puppey and MidOne, the Monkey King and Witch Doctor respectively. They're going to turn around, get a paralyzing cast. It actually bounces back to him somehow. Chalice was barely still in range, and this means he should die here to the final swing of MidOne. That's going to be first blood. Oh, barely gets away. Jesus. Nisha really pushing it to the limits there. Got as much mana out of that Leshrac as possible. Blinks back just in time to escape death.
It's not even that bad, though. Maybe he's doing perfectly fine. He's hit every stun, by the way.
Another stun, another follow-up from the Fissure, and very little Yapsor can do to stop all this harassment on Nisha.
Let me say, he's literally hit every stun on him. And Nisha's got to be careful here. He's just dead.
Okay.
He was not careful. He was like, well, I'm fine. 2 levels of lightning at 100 HP is going to kill you.
What was his build? The AM? Does he have 1/1/1?
No.
No, he's got no levels of the spell shield, so he's got no magic resistance whatsoever.
He just died.
He just died. Nisha, a little pissed off that he just died here, immediately blinks onto maybe, tries to burn a bit of mana. Make his lane easier somehow. Witch Doctor's actually going to wrap in here. So while Yapsor is keeping FY away, the Witch Doctor, Puppey's going to show up, does manage to get the paralyzing cast, but without any mana, maybe doesn't actually take that much damage from the right clicks of Nisha, so he will survive through this Maledict. He'll be a little bit low for it, though. So it looks like he's going to try and pick up that 4-minute rune to refresh his bottle.
If this is a regen or an arcane rune, they're so tilted.
Oh,
Okay.
well, they still got the rune, and they still managed to fill up the bottle. And I feel like that's the real important part for LGD. Chalice in trouble, good body blocking there from Puppey. Now follows up with a paralyzing cast. No bounces, but still with a Maledict and Boundless Strike. Chalice is going to drop dangerously low. Now Xnova, well, he's not going to try and stop it because he has no spells that can stop it when he's got no levels of the magic immunity.
Much better laning phase from Secret this time around.
Yeah.
That's why last game, remember when we were watching the game, I was advocating for the monkey. Like, I feel like it fits their playstyle. It's one of those things. It's a hero that can transition as a core, but also, you know, you can just fight with MidOne. Like, he's the type of player that can just go around and make plays happen.
Same thing with like Ember Spirit, right? That's why he looks so good on that same hero.
Yeah.
Same kind of style.
At bottom,
He takes a little bit of damage, has to wave form back here. But he still
Bounty
has
runes.
plenty of regen to work
It's
with.
time.
Bounty runes
Yapsor's
are
gonna get
coming up.
one.
Yapsor snags up one. FY can't stop Yapsor from getting the other. That'll be 3.
FY had to have known that was going to happen, though.
Yeah.
Also, FY, because he's devoted so much time towards this mid lane, is only level 1 so far.
That is pretty crazy.
It's paid off in the sense that, like, they were able to slow down the anti-mage quite a bit, but, like, you know, level 1 level 1 Earthshaker, anti-mage will eventually catch up.
Mm-hmm. Good stun onto Nisha.
He has hit, I think he's perfect right now. Maybe he's missed one that we weren't watching for a sec, but every single time that I've looked, he's hit it.
He's taken a lot of harassment damage from this Sand King, but he's got a big CS lead. 30 and 19 compared to the 18 and 2 of the Sand King. I think a lot of that is all that mid shenanigans pulled the supports away from being able to help out the Sand King, and Sand King just on one-on-one against Morphling is not going to win that. MidOne trying to jump in, is going to be able to get on top of Chalice again. This is the only real downside for LGD's lanes right now, is that Chalice is suffering, dying multiple times to MidOne, who's currently free farming as well, 30 and 27.
Yeah, both carries are not really going to get touched. Good news for Secret, though, is that they were able to actually pick up some kills on the Monkey King, whereas LGD haven't been able to do the same to Zai, who's just pulling out the side lane, farming it up with the Sandstorm. It doesn't look like you can necessarily stop that quite yet, as the Sentry looks like...
Fisher out, but there's going to be the paralyzing cast to be able to stop the follow-up stun. Look at that, they telekinesis him onto the other side of the Fisher. The same Fisher that was supposed to kill the AM helps instead to block maybe in his doom. Puppey will pick up the kill, and Nisha will head back to base for some regen.
That's what it's going to take, 3 heroes? Then that's what you do?
All that to try and secure Nisha his lane.
I mean, your real win condition in this game is not the Monkey King, despite him having a very good lane. It's going to be the anti-mage. The cool thing about heroes like AM and Spectre are they're like this all-encompassing hero that you know the condition lies
Fisher
on them.
block in. MidOne needs to be able to hide in the trees. He actually does have his ultimate, though. He'll be able to pop this now. Gets the extra armor.
turnaround.
Also gets a Boundless Strike. That's going to be able to kill one support. And Xnova is going to limp away very low. MidOne will be able to catch the other one, too. That's a double kill for him. What a big turnaround. A 3 against 1 that MidOne turns to his advantage.
It was the Oracle not being able to burst him with the second level of Purifying Flames.
Yeah.
It just ends up healing him so much.
2,000 net worth lead for Team Secret. Do you feel like they tempered some of their greediness from the previous drafts?
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's always like the crazy balance of being on Secret is you never know like how greedy it's going to be.
Yapsor. Fisher's going to come out eventually here, or maybe not.
Yeah.
Yapsor managed to juke long enough, so instead they're going to go for Puppey. As the Fisher block, gets it pretty solidly. Puppey, no way out here. Just turns to get whatever damage he can. MidOne is actually going to jump in here, trying to go for FY. Gets 3 stacks, Boundless Strike to be able to finish out that Jingu Mastery, and goes back to lane with that extra lifesteal he now has.
Mm-hmm. This match, though, very important for both sides, because whoever loses will get called garbage despite them taking games off each other. Everyone will forget about the other 2 games. That's my favorite part of best of 3s. You know, whoever ends up winning was just right. doesn't matter what the context is. You can stomp game 1 like Secret did.
For the next like 5 days, you're gonna get called garbage, and then you make your way all the way back through the lower bracket to beat them in the finals.
What have you done for me lately?
Yeah,
that's my favorite. It sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but it's not, because that's how it should be, right? It's like, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, you don't get to just rest on your laurels. Look at OG. You don't get to just win TI and then come back, be the most dominant team in the game. That's for sure.
Oh. That's
good burst strike from Zai from low ground to high. Helps them get the kill. Secret just pulling a lot of numbers together. They are willing to group up, it seems, to be able to make these lanes go a little bit better for them. Zai now running into FY. It seems like this grouping up, now rotating Zai and MidOne together to bottom lane. It's working out incredibly well, getting multiple kills. Now being able to force Ame back. Ame's actually going to turn into a Sand King here. Burrow Strike gets Burrow struck, though. Turns back into a Morphling. Fights back Zai as well as MidOne. Maybe it's his turnaround as Ame is going to go for it, and it does actually burst down the Monkey King. Zai is quite low. Doesn't actually get spotted inside the Sandstorm. Has to make his way out of here, though. Gets hit by the stun of Ame. Followed into the trees. Zai low on HP, low on mana, but PSG.LGD are not willing to pursue. 7-3, a good turnaround for LGD. Sort of limits the advantage that Secret had, especially being able to get more bounty runes. How many bounty runes did they get?
Secret picked up 2 of them.
Okay.
LGD picked up 2 of them.
Jeez, Puppey still managed to get 2 of them. Huh?
It always throws me off, like, when people bottle them.
Oh, yeah, because there's an
It looks like
line
it's
in
2.
chat.
Yeah. But no, you got to pay attention. How much farm does Anti-Mage have? Honestly,
Not much.
This game just comes down to, like, does Nisha get a lot of farm? If so, they can win this game, no problem. Because you don't want to play against, as Leshrac, against an Anti-Mage. With, they don't really have BKB piercers. Is the problem. Oh.
Maybe he's dead again. And, you know, I said Nisha didn't have much farm, and I think that's kind of true, but maybe he has less.
Yeah.
He's died so many times now that his mid lane advantage that he once had has just crumpled and fallen apart. Fortunately, LGD is making the most of it, currently taking this bottom tier 1 tower.
Their real core, too, though, is Morphling.
Yeah.
Like, Leshrac will put out damage no matter what. It's the same thing as Monkey King. Like, Monkey King was always going to be a really good core, just especially for a team like Secret, because he needs so little to operate. Like, realistically speaking, what do you need? Diffusal, BKB, Echo Saber, and you're one of the best heroes in the game.
Yeah.
Same thing goes for Leshrac. Like, you don't really need a ton of items to be really good in this game in particular, but they're going to need to speed up the timeline a little bit, because I don't think you want to go later and later into these cores that don't have natural counters. Plus, like, once they do get BKBs, it's really hard, I think, for...
Wait, who wants to speed up the game?
I think LGD wants to speed up the game. I think that Secret are just going to keep doing the MidOne show, hop him around on the trees, get
Bounty
kills.
strike, stun, X Nova, trying to get away. He's dead.
Yeah, just keep doing this. This is what I wanted last game. I know I kept memeing with you. I was like, they need to pick Monkey King or they lose. And then they last picked Alk. And you're like, is it a good Monkey King game? I was like,
oh, Zai. How you just do that to Ame?
Morph players all deserve it. Let me just say.
They're all so greedy.
They're all so greedy.
They're all greedy.
You guys all want to stick around at like 50 health, like no strength. Well, sometimes that just happens.
Sometimes you just die, and look at that.
Sometimes you just straight up get...
Ame dies bottom. They get a tier 1 top as well for Secret. So you're pretty convinced about this. You don't think Morphling can win this late game?
I kind of feel like I sort of feel like the Anti-Mage plus Monkey King, like, and they have a lot of disable.
Yeah.
It's a sick Rubik game too. Like,
yeah, it is.
He only has good stuff to steal. I can't believe that happened though. I love it when morphs die like that though. You know who's the biggest guilty offender of this? It was like when
I know
Ramses.
Say Ramses.
Ramses against Alina's.
When Ramses just farming up jungle at 500 HP and Alina shows up and just
Laguna
Laguna
Blades and walks away. The one hitter.
That was probably the worst performance of Ramses I think I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, for sure. But nah, it happens to every morph at some point, guys.
Yes.
Like it happened to Anna yesterday where he just died to a creep. Morphling.
10-3. A very large kill lead and a pretty big net worth lead for Team Secret, too. As this Animage has now gone into full farming modes. MidOne staying ahead despite running around and being just trying to get kills. He's successfully getting those kills, and his net worth continues to increase.
Ames almost got Battle Fury cap. Like, he's not that far away from it.
Yeah, that's scary.
Despite the fact that he just straight up got solo killed. Like, of course there was help from the Earthshaker earlier, but that solo death is on him.
Mm-hmm.
He just sort of walked around and got lightning strike and killed.
It's scary because the NEM has already climbed his way up the net worth charts through all this. That's just going to speed up exponentially once he gets the Battle Fury, then the Yasha. 15-minute bounty runes are coming up. Secret. Yapzor is going to be in trouble here. Held in by X-Nova's Purge and then followed up with a stun of the Leshrac. They'll use that pick off to secure the bottom bounty runes, it seems. But Zai does have his Blink Dagger. And he almost has level 2 Epicenter too. Which is, I feel like, a pretty important level for Sand King to give him the solo kill potential. Ame actually did get the top bounty rune as well, so that's LGD grabbing 3 this time around.
Excellent.
Oh, he's going Maelstrom. Interesting. Oh.
I mean, you can't really go Battle Fury builds. You want a Diffusal, right?
I want a Diffusal. Oh, you're just dead, X-Nova.
Yeah. He's going to save himself with his ultimate, but don't think that's going to do a whole lot. The False Promise is going to wear out.
The fire is real strong over his head.
Yeah. There's a big push from LGD, though. Look how fast they almost took down that Tier 2. The Glyph starts delaying it. But it doesn't look like anybody from Secret's really going to stop this push. Puppey shows up, paralyzing cast, but the Tier 2 is still going to fall here. The rest of Secret running into the mid lane are going to be able to catch Ame here. Get the Jingu stacks up. Held him up with a telekinesis as well. Ame's been burned out of most of his mana. It pops the magic stick charges and will be able to waveform away. So Secret, they lost their bottom Tier 2. The hope was that they were going to be able to get a kill mid and take the mid tower. Not possible, it seems. As PSG.LGD aren't going to be able to formulate a strong defense over this mid Tier 1. Even if they're 2,000 net worth behind, they do have quite strong team fight. They got to watch out for Zai, though. Zai, with his Blink Dagger, level 2 Epicenter, that's a lot of burst damage, especially when maybe has not had the greatest game, does not have a huge amount of stats right now with just the Eul Scepter.
Yeah, but the Eul is going to be really nice against the Sand King, too.
Yeah.
Just so he can stave off some of that burst, as they're smoked up, making their way right now to MidOne. And if he gets Eul Sceptered up...
Yep. Eul Scepter to lead things off, follow up with a Sun. Look at that, the setup by the Purge from X-Nova. It does mean that, okay, there goes the burst damage.
Don't worry, man.
They were missed a little bit of it, but
they were killing him.
That Wrath of Nature comes through. A huge chunk of damage. And Secret, all of a sudden, only 1,000 net worth ahead now. 17:03 is our Battle Fury timing for Nisha. Only 14 seconds faster than the average.
It's not bad, though.
It's not bad. But Team Secret's also an above-average team, so it does go to show that Nisha's farm was...
And look at that. Ame's, or maybe he's #1. Well, he was for like 2 seconds. But he's still very good in net worth.
Nice job being able to get off Magic Immunity as best he can, but in the end, it is too much for him.
I do like, by the way, that Zai decided to go for the Blink instead of like the tanky run-at-you build.
Yeah.
I think they need catch this game. He doesn't really need the ability to like tank up or anything, because his anti-mage is just as strong of a core to be able to follow up with him.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to frontline as hard for them.
Same goes with...
Monkey. Yeah. I think that sometimes I feel like people blind follow builds. It's like, you don't always have to go for that tankier build. As bottom lane, everyone's got to be careful. But
oh, FY. MidOne jumps right over the top of him. Doesn't want to go for the kill, though.
I think because he doesn't know where everybody is. So he's a little bit concerned, and he was hopping in and out. He got vision. FY correctly scared him. If you see this Earthshaker, it's like that thing, you know, when bear's charging at you, you hold your ground.
Mm.
Is that, like, really advice? Like, I hope nobody actually gets in trouble because of that.
I mean, it depends on the bear. Grizzly bears, you play dead.
I see.
Black bears, when they charge you, they're really just bluffing, so you stand your ground.
Oh, okay.
Grizzly bears make business. Ame. Oh, gotta back up. Nisha didn't have enough burst damage. They tried it with the epicenter and Nisha jumping in, even the mana void being used, but all of it was not enough to get the kill on Ame. Apparently he learned from earlier not to put himself too far in agility. Chalice just getting some really good aggressive vision down. That's a great ward spot that he just got there. That's going to be able to spot any heroes farming up Ancients. I'm not sure if PSG.LGD is planning on getting aggressive soon with that kind of ward. Bloodstone being worked on for maybe? Quite surprised we don't see that defusal for the Monkey King. Is it because he has an AM?
I guess.
Are you incentivized to burn mana to get better mana voids, or not burn mana so he can
do more damage?
So that AM could do more damage.
It's really confusing, right?
Yeah,
because I figured Diffusal would have been perfect this game.
Yeah, dude. I mean, especially with Leshrac. You're never going to burn all of Leshrac's mana. Chalice is going to be in some trouble here as he gets caught in bottom lane. X-Nova tries to show up to save him. Tries to get off the false promise, but Zai was perfect with the Burrow Strike. Stopped that ultimate from going off and gets the kill on the Oracle as well.
I love it. It's just like, well, okay, I have a reason. It's for the Treants.
Ah.
Yeah.
Better wave clear against Furion.
Okay, makes sense to me. But I do think Diffusal would have been sick too.
Yeah.
Like, either option I think is fine here. Because realistically, like, AM is fast enough around the map that he can farm up the lanes for you.
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to check out?
Nothing, William. Don't talk about it. Just got to remind myself of Oracle's terrible-ass spell names. Fate's Edict! Come on, man. Oh, Zai is going to be able to catch Chalice here. The Fissure kind of separates the two, but Chalice has already taken up too much damage. He's going to fall here. Simultaneously, they were pushing in the bottom lane and did manage to get that tier 1 tower for the AM as well. So Nisha got himself a pretty big bounty. Is now 1,500 net worth ahead of the Morphling. Secret as a whole is 5,000 net worth up.
I don't think this net worth thing gets better either. There is something about Nature's Prophet. Like, I think he is a straight-up great hero.
Yeah.
Tier 1 for sure. But if you're behind on him, you're not team fighting. They're going to go in.
An Echo Slam straight up. They're just going to blow everything they have to be able to kill MidOne. He's one of the biggest team fighters. Now they can just run over the rest. His Puppey's going to be caught inside the Sprout. He's dead. Last second, he throws out the Paralyzing Cast to make sure there's not too much of a pursuit as his allies retreat and Team Secret.
That was a disaster, Kev.
Yeah.
He hit the perfect Echo and Zai just whiffs on the stun. Oh, that made that fight so hard. I was about to say, like, the problem with NP is you don't have a teamfight skill set. Not really. This hero relies on being quite ahead. He's like a mini Alk in that regard. But if you're not ahead, you get put into these like weird positions where, you know, you have even net worth, but you don't actually have skills that can fight. You don't come with the stun. Your ulti is very like... It's you use
his
it
ultimate,
to, like,
to be fair, his ultimate is a lot better in team fights than he used to.
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
much heavier burst damage,
but it's just not reliable.
Yeah,
I guess is the best way to put it. You're not 100%. You're not 100% counting on it.
Yeah,
and so when you're behind with NP, then it naturally just becomes like I'm gonna rat a little bit more. Yeah. But I do like how Chalice is building this, deciding to go for the Hex because he realizes like I'm a hero. I farm well, but I come with no disables or anything like that. So let me just try to fix that problem up real quick.
And this will help catch these there are 3 mobile, hyper-mobile cores. Sand King, Animage, and Monkey King. Now, they are behind this Leshrac, so they're going to try and save him here. The Fissure actually keeps Leshrac in position. They're going to go for the False Promise quickly onto this Leshrac, but there's so many secret heroes, and none of them are really dying to this magic damage. It looks like this Lesh will get blown up. 3 dead from LGD. They did not bring 5 heroes up to that top lane, instead trying to go for a split push. And they do successfully get the mid-tier 1 tower off of the Furion, it looks like.
Yeah, this was pretty important, but like I said...
Hefty cost.
Fighting 5-on-5 is going to be really hard. The only reason why they won that fight at bottom was because FY's reaction time was like the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
That was insane. The fact that he was able to blink through Zai's blink stun, get the Echo onto the Monkey King, they burst him. but in situations like that, it's going to just look where AM is dominant.
Witch Doctor? Dead. And, oh, look at that. Ame turning into the Monkey King to be able to get the Boundless Strike long range onto MidOne. That was a great pickup for LGD.
Yeah.
That'll help rectify that loss earlier in that top lane, that's for sure.
Question is, can you kill this anti-mage?
Well, it's not going to be easy if he finishes this Scotty. Already has one of the ultimate orbs. And you give him another 2 minutes or so, and he will have that Scotty. And then they're so reliant on burst damage. Earthshaker, Morphling, Leshrac. That is not like heroes that focus on long sustained team fights so much. They just want to be able to burst somebody down. That AM's not going to drop bottom lane. Look at the jump in from Zai. With the illusions out from the Anti-Mage, they'll make short work of Chalice, who's had a rough go of it. And now X-Nova's dead as well. Zai cancels his TP, realizing that support could not handle the illusions. Maybe he's going to try and go for Zai here, but is he going to die to the illusions as well? What's going on?
God.
LGD, what's happening?
Don't do it.
Don't lose like this.
Zai's just set up camp in the most obvious area of all time. And, you know, like the sirens in the Odyssey. They're just kind of walking.
They're just lured in.
There's just the song of the siren. They're beautiful. I mean, Zai's beautiful, so I understand
their mind goes blank. They're just nothing but this Swedish god. They just walk towards him.
The sailors are dropping off one by one. What was that?
That was a disaster. Jeez.
He sat inside the sandstorm. He's like, whoa, I didn't realize he was dying in like 2 seconds. He has the sandstorm DPS.
So his 14-second faster Battle Furies turned into a 7-minute faster Scotty. The jump into the back line. Chalice is dead. Once again, FY has already been neutralized, controlled up by Yapzor. It just seems to get worse and worse. And now X-Nova, he tried to go for the disarm on Denisha, but he actually turned it around on the Oracle so he could keep on swinging. The Fate's Edict not here to save the Oracle today.
I'm pretty sure Secret should just go for Roche, and the game would look the exact same right now.
Yeah. Ame, Lincolns will help protect him, but not enough. There's so many disables coming his way. Telekinesis is enough to finish him off, and now Nisha jumps forward onto maybe as well. This game just turns on a dime so quickly. Secret go from biding their time to now dominating LGD inside of their own base underneath the tier 4s. LGD has not had 5 heroes alive for the last 2 minutes.
I can't believe that bottom plate.
Everybody keeps on getting picked off and dying.
Would you guys, who would like to walk into the sandstorm next? So at least we figured out what team everyone's going to flame. You know, it was a back and forth affair, game 1, game 2.
Yeah.
One team is correct. History only cares about the winners, folks. That is what Dota has taught me. And right now, that is about to be Team Secret.
I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of room for flame here. LGD did not lose in the most graceful of ways, Blitz.
They did not, Cap.
This was a fine game up until about 5 minutes ago.
That was crazy. I just saw like 4 people walk into a sandstorm and just pass.
Ame's going to go for it, trying to kill Puppey. Doesn't actually have enough burst damage. Now telekinesis, he's out of mana. False Promise goes down. That's why Nisha immediately just turns and kills up Nova. He blocks back the spell to stun Ame with his own shotgun. And now Nisha is going to try and run him down there. It's going to be stunned from the Leshrac to make sure that Ame gets home safely. He did have a mana void up for Nisha, but did not want to blink forward and throw the game. Instead, wants to finish off the second lane of Rax.
And this is all without the Aegis. This is when you know you're ahead.
Yeah.
When Tier 1 teams are playing against each other and everyone just forgoes Roshan and no one cares about it whatsoever, that's how you know that the game is largely wrapped up.
The decisive victory. Secret just recognized that LGD made one too many mistakes and decided to quickly end it, or at least force it to a pretty inevitable conclusion. As 2 lanes of Rax down, it's going to be very hard for LGD to come back from this 22,000 net worth deficit. A fresh BKB on MidOne, plenty of items that's going to be flowing in for Team Secret, including that aforementioned Aegis.
They're finally going to get it now, and I feel like this is more of an afterthought. Like, well,
yeah,
the game's over.
I guess we have to.
Let's just kind of do this.
Lincoln's for the AM. MidOne hopping around in trees, just making sure that no one from LGD is going to dive into the pit and upset the current balance. Fisher, MidOne, Echo Slam as well. He does get picked off. And they also find Yapzor. Chalice not feeling too confident about that as they heard the Roshan go down. They're going to try and retreat, but Chalice is not going to be so lucky. The Yule Scepter from Zai able to stop him. Burrow Strike to make sure AM has his way.
Zai, by the way,
for Chalice,
he's building a nullifier. Just makes everybody's life harder.
Yeah.
Aside from maybe like X-Novas who, you know, it'll prevent him from using his wand.
This is where you see the desperation plays of really good teams, is when you have somebody just waiting to cut the creep wave because you know you can't stop the enemy if they 5-man into that last lane of brass.
For the straight up 5-on-5, it's just done.
Yeah.
By the way, absolute special shout out to Zai this game. 5-0 and 16.
Oh yeah.
That pickoff that he got on on Ame bottom, I don't know if I want to call that a pickoff. He just kind of stunned and right-clicked him once. And
he just casted his spells.
The Sandstorm Trap, I mean, apparently it's got some weird magnetic pull where everybody just wants to walk into it, but
Remember
they did.
When Sand King, when it was channeling and he did that little dance?
Yeah.
It was like Zai himself was doing a dance to lure
He just swayed them in with his hips.
Those hips don't lie, man.
They don't. I mean, LGD walked in one by one. They felt it. This game, I don't know. There's just not a whole lot that you can do as LGD because you can't straight up fight them.
FY tried to cut the creep wave, and he did for the most part. One little creep limps on, but there's nobody else to be able to collect the follow-up creep wave.
I straight up thought that Yapzor was going to deny that creep for CS, like for gold. That'd be the most Yapzor thing I've ever seen.
Instead of getting it to
the break.
The backdoor protection. Mid lane's also pushing in, so Secret can easily go high ground any other way. Level 25 on Nisha as well.
You got the Lincolns, by the way, so that you can't just steal the... You can't just rub it.
Oh, immediately, Burrow Strike, Nullifier onto the last Strike. He's going to be in trouble. MidOne takes that time to get off the Wukong's command. Fortunately, there was a small little gap where Leshrac was able to get out of that Wukong's command. Fisher block in. Oh, backline immediately. The AM tries to go for the Oracle. Doesn't actually get it. The epicenter jump in from Zai. Big amount of burst damage. That'll be enough to finish off the Morphling, as well as go to the backline and grab Chalice. Nobody has buyback here on the side of LGD, so it's just FY and maybe.
Oh, MidOne's dancing on him.
To just watch
He's dancing on him.
Styling on PSG.LGD. That's a different kind of dance. That is not an entrancing one.
Look at that. He's pinging himself. He wants his team to know what's going on.
What a way to end the game.